Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavari Paslachadi Shadani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Radha Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivedanta Hare Nama Hare Nama Hare Nama Eva Kevala Kalo Naste Vanaste Vanaste Gati Rangata.
Rama
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Today is Radharani's birthday. Let's put a little bit of spunk in our voices. I'm sure if it was our birthday, we would love to be pompous. So let's try it one more time. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Haribo. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari. Yashoda Nandana Prajajana Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana Prajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jayam Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivacharya Stotra Trishi Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jayam Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivacharya Stotra Trishi Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrind Ki Jai. ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nama Acharya Srila Radhastami Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shadi Gaura Bhakta Vrind Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shamakunda Radha Kundu Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Sri Vrindavana Dham Ki Jai. Shri Maipur Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Yamuna Mai Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Sri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Shri Radhastami Mahotsava Ki. Samavita Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. So today is the auspicious day of the birthday of Radharani. Last night I was having a thought in my mind. Two thoughts came to my mind. One is, how many of us had a big time, a big struggle getting up this morning to come to the temple at 10 o'clock? Wow, I'm the fallen conditioned soul. Thank you. It is a change. I can completely understand that. I was reading a very beautiful pastime yesterday that I want to share with all of you. Never go to the class. And I forgot who wrote this pastime, but I was reading the pastime of how Srimati Radharani's birthday is celebrated. It starts in the morning. In the morning is when they wake the Radharani up. They dress her up in a very simple white clothing. It's like almost like her bathing suit, lack of a better word, like a little gown. And they bathe her with different ointments, different oils, different liquids, all in the mornings. And then they dry her up very nicely. And then they put on the finest of all silk clothing on her. And then they give her all kinds of gifts. And then they cook. Not only do they cook, she also cooks. Radharani itself will go in the kitchen and cook for the devotees. Srila Prabhupada said that Radharani's cooking is so special that she doesn't repeat that one recipe twice. I repeated my same dal a million times. Not one recipe is duplicated twice. And it's so nectarian, they say, that anybody that eats it, they get the bliss of Krishna Prema. And then they have Aarti at noon. And then they break the fast at noon, and then they have a wonderful feast cooked by Mother Yashoda, Mother Rohini, Mother Kirtada, Purnamasi, and Radharani, and all the gopis. And then after they eat, they've had their bellies filled, right? Then they, what we call in the Christian church, layman activities. We take a nap after a full stomach of Krishna Prasadam, Radharani's mercy. You know, then in the evening they get up, they do more fun. And in the wee hours at night, when all of us are asleep, is when Radharani and the gopis and Krishna, they sneak out of the house and they have their rasa in one of the groves. And Srila Prabhupada brought that mercy to us from India to here in 1965. And in many ISKCON temples, actually, Radhastami is celebrated in the morning for that reason. That's why it's half-day fast. It's just that when it falls on a weekday, it's challenging, so we have it in the evenings just to accommodate, you know, working devotees. But normally, Srila Prabhupada, when he first started, in fact, there are many ISKCON temples now, as we speak, that are honoring Radhastami during the day. So I'm very happy that we all could make it here on this wonderful auspicious day for Radhastami. So thank you all for coming. So Radharani, we all know the pastime of Radharani. We know who's her mother. We know who's her father. We know all that good stuff. But one thing that was coming to my mind is to really meditate, you know, What is it like if we do not have the mercy of Radharani? It's very scary. In the culture of bhakti, devotion, bhakti means devotion, we are reminded that there are practices that we do that are accepted, and there are practices that are rejected. There are certain things that we do is guaranteed a devotee's spiritual growth, and there are certain things that we do will kill the devotional creeper. And the devotional creeper is like a plant. You know, like Nandin Prabhu is a farmer, so he can definitely vouch for that. You put a plant, first before you plant, what do? Prepare the land. You got to till it, you got to weed it, you got to rototill, turn it inside out, remove all the weeds and the soil, whatever's blocking it. Then it's all fertile, then you plant the seed. Tell me if I'm wrong, because my husband is the gardener, not me, Prabhu. So I only watch my husband do it. You plant the seed, then you put the water it, and then you monitor it, you baby it, any weeds, you pull it out. That's exactly what devotion is all about. That devotion is Radharani. She is the mother of devotion. Two things, there are many things that blocks the plant from growing. One of it is weeds. It strangles the roots of the plant. In Krishna consciousness, there are many things, but the two biggest things that hinders or blocks the devotional creeper in our heart is anarthas, mad elephant, completely mad, and aparads. So, to make it a little more interactive, I might ask some questions. What are anarthas? The 6 enemies of the mind, which are the unwanted activities which bring stagnation in our spiritual life. Is it easy to overcome overnight? No. Is it possible to overcome it over a period of time? Yes. But we have to put work into it. It takes a long time. It doesn't happen overnight. But we have to know, okay, we have to first recognize that we have the 6 enemies. That's the main thing. I do have anger, I do have illusion, I do have envy. Like, we have to recognize. In fact, in the psychology world, they say that if we recognize our faults, 50% of the healing is done. 50%. Because to accept I have this issue means, okay, we are on the road to recovery. 50%. So once we recognize it, then we do the work. We do the work. We do the work. And we cannot do it alone. We need devotees with us. We cannot do it alone. Another one is aparads. Very common term we've heard. Aparad means offenses. Offenses. There are several types of aparads. There are several types of offenses. One is seva aparad. Offenses in the execution of devotional service. The second aparad is nam aparad. Offenses while chanting the holy name. Third aparad is dham aparad. Offenses to the holy places. When I was thinking about dham aparad, I was remembering many spiritual masters' advice, including my spiritual master. When devotees, this was like in the 90s, when my God family were planning to visit Vrindavan and Mayapur, especially Vrindavan, we were always instructed not to go there, stay for more than 7 days. 3 would be best, 7 is the max. Why? Because it's so pure. Vrindavan is so pure. One wrongdoing, it will kill our devotional creeper. And to be honest with you, it's been 30 years, I'm very scared to go to Vrindavan. I am so scared. I said, no, let me just sit in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. It's so pure. So in order to, sometimes we think, I'm earning a very good salary. I just got to go to kayak.com, Air India, British Airways, Lufthansa, book the ticket and just fly, right? Not a big deal, make my arrangements, get one Uber, I don't know what they call in India, but here I know we call Uber, get someone to pick me up from the airport, take me to Vrindavan, Aram says 7 days, have fun and come back. No. We need to get the mercy. And the mercy is only Radharani. The holy dham is not material. It's very pure and spiritual. One offense can really cause a lot of problems. I'll tell you one pastime. Mother Sudevi, few of you may know her, very senior disciple of Satsrup Maharaj. And she was telling me this pastime, and I was like, whoa, this is really true. She was in Vrindavan, and there are pujaris that actually do daily arti for different groves, the kunj in Vrindavan. There was one pujari that I think it was a woman or man, I don't remember, and this devotee was doing daily pujari service in this kunj. And morning and afternoon, whatever the schedule was. So that evening, this devotee did his last arti in that grove and came back, was walking back. And he has heard the glories that at night, when we're all asleep, the Leela do take place. It does happen in this groves. We just can't see because we don't have the spiritual vision. So this devotee was walking back, and this devotee was wondering, is it really true? Does Leela's happening there? So what did this guy do? And he was warned not to do it. This devotee turned back to check and see, let me see if there's Leela's happening. You know what happened to the devotee? He went blind. He lost his eyesight. He doubted that these pastimes actually happen. Being a pujari, that he says, but he didn't see it because he doesn't have the spiritual vision. So we have to be very, very careful, when we are told that, we should accept it because it's coming from the parampara system. It's coming from the proper disciplic succession. So when she told me that, I had goosebumps down to my spine. I said, okay, that's it. No more Vrindavan for me. Let me just live. Vrindavan is very scary. The fourth offense is guru aparad, offenses to the spiritual master. Who's spiritual master? Your spiritual master? My spiritual master? Srila Prabhupada? Who's spiritual master? Everybody's spiritual master, because all the gurus are one, Guru Tattva. All the gurus are one. It doesn't matter whether it's my spiritual master or your spiritual master or your spiritual master. Everybody's spiritual master. We have to be very careful that we don't make offenses. The last, which is the biggest and most dangerous, is Vaishnav aparad. Aparad to the devotees. In the Gaudiya Vaishnava dictionary, the term aparad is defined as Radha Sunya, devoid of Radharani. That is the meaning of aparad. Interestingly, Radha's name is in aparad, A-P-A-R-A-D-H-A. So, aparad means Radha Sunya, devoid of Radha. From this, we can learn that Radharani is the mother of devotion. The topmost devotee of the Lord is Radharani. And because Radharani is the mother of devotion, she oversees everyone's bhakti. The devotional kripa in our heart, she sees it. She oversees, okay, I'm going to watch your bhakti. How is it growing? She's the coordinator, the planner, the director, the CEO, the CFO, whatever you want to call it, over bhakti. We have been told time immemorial, and I have been even, very frequently by my seniors, Krishna the person, Krishna the deity form, Krishna in the holy name, Srimad Bhagavatam, the literally incarnation of Krishna, and Krishna, the devotional service, is none different. They're all the same. So Krishna the person, Krishna the deity form, Krishna in the holy name, Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the literally incarnation of Krishna, and devotional service, Bhakti Yoga, they're all the same. One and the same. No difference. So, if they're all one and the same, Bhakti is devotion. Radharani is the mother of devotion. So if Krishna is Bhakti, a little bit of analysis here. If Krishna is Bhakti and Radharani is the mother of Bhakti, so that means we have to start developing the understanding that Krishna and Bhakti are none different. So if we offend Bhakti, Radharani is going to say, heck you, man. Take a very simple example, a very material example. How many wives in this temple will keep quiet if our husband gets offended? No one. We're going to say, how dare you? Naturally, right? I know, even though my husband is bigger than me, but I used to tell my kids, anybody comes from Prakshit, man, that's it. They got to come through me. I'm like, you don't mess with my husband. I know. He can fight me because my husband is very Brahmin, very Shant. I'm the fighter. I'm like, no, you got to come through me because we want to protect our husbands. Now, how many husbands will keep quiet if someone offends your wife? We're going to say, no, I'm going to protect this woman. Who the heck are you to come and do this and da-da-da-da-da-da to my wife? Natural instinct. So in that same mood, Krishna is Bhakti. I want to hear your joke, that's why I looked at you. Krishna is Bhakti. So if we offend Bhakti, which is Krishna, Radharani is going to say, why are you messing with my Lord? Why are you messing with my Lord? You want him? He ain't that cheap. You got to really work on that, right? So aparad means becoming devoid of Radharani by creating a situation where the blessings, the mercy, the protection, and the benediction are all absent. When we commit an offense, the mercy is gone. The blessings are gone. Protection is gone. Benediction is gone. It's like whew, wiped out clean. So without the mercy of Radharani and Lord Nityananda, we have been told by our spiritual masters that when a spiritual masters come in two forms, either Lord Nityananda or Radharani, one or the other. We don't know who, because we don't have the divine vision. We just accept them as guru, that's it. What their leelas is, that's them. We don't have to go cracking our heads on that. Just like Krishna says, don't even try knowing, because even I don't know myself, why are you trying to get to know me? Krishna is so magnificent, even he himself don't know himself. So why are we cracking our heads? Just follow the instructions. So whether it's Nam Aparad, whether it's Seva Aparad, whether it's Dham Aparad, whether it's Guru Aparad, whether it's Vaishnava Aparad, we are bereft of the mercy of Radharani. Pretty powerful. Radharani is, she's not Aishwarya Rai. She's above all the Bollywood stars and the Hollywood stars and what have you. She's the mother of devotion, the supreme mother. If we engage in devotional service, our spiritual growth is guaranteed. It's guaranteed, Prabhupada says. If we engage in devotional service, our spiritual growth is guaranteed, except, that comes the catch-22 word, except when there are offenses. Offenses can stunt, stagnate our progress, even to the point of stagnating our spiritual growth, not only in this lifetime, in many lifetimes. Because what we're doing now, it's from God knows when. So if we do more offenses, it's going to accumulate. It's going to build up. So much so that it can take lifetimes to affect our spiritual bank account. We all have our own spiritual bank account that's invisible. Only the Lord can see it. It's what we put in and what we take out. When we make offenses, we are debiting our spiritual bank account. So we want to credit it, we want to add more. So the next question is, what are the impediments that devastates our devotional creeper? So we have come across, some of us may have come across situations where devotees were once upon a time very enthusiastic, eager to chant, eager to read, hanker for association. They will be the only ones on the street out there, distributing books, like very what we call fired up, ISKCON lingo, fired up. And then one fine day, that same devotee is absent. He or she is not out there. They are absent. They are staggering. What we call in ISKCON hermits. They're hiding out. What happened? What caused them to go from, all the way enthusiasm down to flat ground? Offenses. Devoid of the mercy of Radharani. Offenses. It's very, very dangerous. Like we said, bhakti is a flower, it's a plant. We have to water the plant in our hearts very carefully, very nicely. We also have to learn to recognize Vaishnava aparat and understand it's very, very, very important. And when one is advanced, when a devotee has been practicing for so many years in Krishna consciousness, they can see the importance of Vaishnava aparat and be very careful not to disrespect them. And why does offenses happen? Offenses happen because of arrogance and pride. Arrogance and pride. Like you said, Padmanath Prabhu, one of the 6 enemies. Arrogance and pride. It's a crazy, mad elephant. It's crazy. When we have arrogance and pride, we start to disrespect. It's a domino effect. It just rolls. We won't even, it's so much part of us that we don't even know when we are disrespecting. We're completely oblivious. Oh my God, I really disrespected. That is the reason why Srila Prabhupada gave the instruction that we should address each other as Prabhus. It means master. And now for women, they say Matajis. Chanakya Pandit, in his moral instructions on Srila Prabhupada said, except one's wife, everyone else is a mother. I remember Shorab was downstairs, so Shorab has the standing joke that he would call both my daughters mother, and they are younger than him. And they'll tell him, Shorab Prabhu, why are you calling him mother? Prabhupada said, I'm only following instructions. And he's older than them, but he's setting the example. Oh yeah, okay. And of course they feel so uncomfortable because they are younger than Shorab, like sisters. And he says, no, Mataji. Like, oh my God, short of Prabhu. But again, why is he saying that? He's reminding us that is what Srila Prabhupada taught us. Except one's wife, every woman should be addressed as mother, and men should be as Prabhus. I was remembering a pastime that happened in this temple, and I don't know who the devotee was, but our temple president from ISKCON Brampton, Radha Gopinath Prabhu, I think he walked the door. I think it happened like, I don't know, a few years ago, recently, the past 5 years, and someone addressed him as Bhaiya. Mataji, Prabhupada says, Prabhu, please call me Prabhu. Because Prabhupada never said that. And that was his training. Prabhu, very important. Very important that we do that. So just to wake us up a little bit, give me some examples of disrespecting, of disrespect. Yes, examples of behavior, disrespectful behavior. Not greeting them. One of the biggest aparad. Actually, I think it's even stated in Nectar of Instruction, if I'm not mistaken. Not greeting them. When we see a devotee, we have to greet Hare Krishna. Not just walk by like they don't exist, like as if, oh, they're a living spirit. That's an offense. It's very important that we greet them. There's one culture, I have to say, that I really like, and before COVID, I used to visit my father, and we used to go to church service together, normally during Christmas time. And there's a church that we go to, and this is in Maryland, and during the middle, Shri Radha Bihari ki, Jagnapati Subhadra ki, Gokonitai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And I really like that culture, and I wish we can do that, but it's going to take a learning process. Before they start what we call lecture, what they call sermon, or at the end during the announcements, the pastor would take 2 minutes and ask the congregation, turn to your right, turn to your left, look in forward, look at the back, and greet everybody. That is Vaishnava culture. But we don't do that. We forget to greet. And when I saw that, I told Anutama Prabhu, our JVC, I love this culture. That way, we got our bases covered. We greet everybody. No offense is done. You know? Yeah, greeting is very important. When I saw that culture, I loved it. Turn to your left, turn to your right, in the front, and then I remember I had to do a 360 degree greet everybody. Good morning, welcome, good morning. That was such a nice thing. And if they know you, they give you a hug. Another example of disrespectful behavior. A devotee. Exactly. Not being joyous when we see a devotee. When we come to the temple, we see a devotee, we have to smile. In fact, when we come to the temple, our mood should always have a smile. The only time that we should not have a smile is when we're attending a funeral. Actually, in Vaishnava culture, thank you, you read my mind. Actually, in Vaishnava culture, even at a funeral, we should be happy. You know why? Because the person who has left the body has been relieved. We are the ones suffering, Baba. We are in this material world dealing with all these miseries. We are suffering, but the person who has left saying, I am free from this crazy bondage of this body. Done. So Prabhupada says, in Vaishnava culture, when someone leaves, it's a joyous occasion. So can the men come closer? It's very packed at the back. If we can come a little closer, please. That way it doesn't get too tight back there. So yes, not being joyous or happy when seeing a devotee is a disrespectful behavior. Thank you, Padmana. Another example of a disrespectful behavior. Let's hear from the women. We got 2 from the men. Prabhupada has brought this up so many times that if we do not answer questions in class, two things happen. Either we understood the class or we slept through the whole class. So yeah, we have to ask questions. Because the speaker is taking so much time and effort to give a class, so the least that we can do is ask questions. Like if we go to school, we ask our teacher questions, right? We always ask, is this the right answer? Is this the wrong answer? We go up and say, da-da-da-da-da-da. We ask questions in school. Yeah, it's very important. I'll throw one in. I don't know how many of you have experienced, but I have personally experienced this. Purposely ignoring a devotee without looking. Purposely, we know the devotee is there, but we purposely go, we take a U-turn. Let me avoid seeing that devotee. That's an offense. A big one, insulting and humiliating a devotee. Big offense. Krishna says, if you have offended my devotee, you have offended me. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Insulting and humiliating is one of the offenses. Another disrespectful behavior, which some of us may have experienced, actually I shouldn't say some, a couple of us, and you know who you are, backstabbing behavior. What does that mean? We appear very nice in the front, and at the back, she said this, he said this, gossip. In front, we're like, oh, Mataji, oh, Prabhuji, you're so this, you're so that, At the back, we're like, oh man, that one is crap. Man, she just talks nonsense. Man, he just goes blah, 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 blah. Backstabbing behavior. It's an offense. Disrespectful behavior. Sometimes we're not even aware that we do that. And that kind of behavior is actually dishonesty. In front, we appear so nice to them, and behind, we just go, one of the offenses. This is a big topic, but even temple etiquette, how we sit, how we greet, how we pay obeisances, that's all etiquette. Mother Mathura mentioned briefly about that in her class last Sunday. It's a culture of respect. Now you see, sitting etiquette, temple etiquette is a culture of respect. Not doing it a disrespectful behavior which leads to offenses. Etiquette in honoring prasadam. I know I tend to get on devotees' nerves when I say, sit down and eat, sit down and eat. Because that prasadam is Krishna's remnants. Right? If it's Krishna's remnants, we have to sit down and honor Krishna's remnants. Mother Kalini, few of us know her. Yesterday was her death anniversary. She left her body in 2017. She was one of my shikshas. Mother Kalini, very surrendered soul, amazing. I can go on speaking about her, but I'll just share one short pastime about her. She really taught me at a very young age. When I joined Krishna consciousness, I was 21 years, newly married. And my first service was to fry cabbage pakoras in the temple kitchen for 6 hours from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Gitanagari kitchen, sweating like God knows what. And it was not easy, I'll tell you, because my mind was saying, but I want to go to the Rath Yatra, I want to go. And she goes, Anasuya, you did a service, you got to see it through. She was intense. And that's why I'm intense, because she made me this way. But Mother Kalini used to always make sure. She would go around and say, sit and eat, sit and eat. And one time she told me, Anasuya, do you know why I always tell the boys to sit down and honor prasadam? Because she said that Prabhupada told her that when we stand and honor prasadam, Yamaraj is overlooking our shoulder. I was like, oh my Lord, I'm sitting down right now. You just say, yeah, Maharaj, I'm ready to fix my behavior, because that scares me. So she taught me that. And that's why I get on some devotees when I see you all standing, because that's how I was trained by my seniors. Prabhupada says, he told his disciples, my Guru Maharaj pushes me, I push you, you push others. So Mother Klini pushed me. Sit down and eat, sit down. That's why I always tell devotees, sit down and honor prasadam, because it's Krishna's remnants. Another disrespectful behavior which sometimes we are not aware of, and we have to be very careful, is talking during service. Having our own little discussions. The person is giving class, a sannyasi is giving class, a devotee is giving class, a senior devotee is giving class. We should definitely not speak. If we have to talk, it's best to step out in the lobby, address whatever has to be addressed, and come back and sit and continue the class. Because we cannot talk and hear at the same time. Either we are listening the whole time, talking to the friend next to us, and we forget what's in the class, or we forgot what the neighbor said and we're just listening to the class. Either way, someone is getting disrespected. So it's always, the proper etiquette is during service, during temple programs, we should not speak amongst ourselves. That's another form of disrespectful behavior. I don't know how many of you know, few of you might know Devotee Swami. He is very strict with that. I have literally observed Devotee Swami Matrunas very well, even Padmanabhana very well, is when Maharaj is giving class, if anybody speaks, this is what he does. He'll stop, and he'll look at you, and he will not say a word. And everybody's like, why did Maharaj stop? Oh my God, he's looking at me. I better shut up. Why is he strict? Because he's teaching us disrespect. Sometimes we think, oh my God, that Maharaj is very, very strict. No, he's teaching us the proper Vaishnava etiquette, how to be respectful when someone is giving class. He's known for that, Devotee Swami. Known for that. Another biggest disrespectful behavior is this rascal machine. Surfing, browsing, texting during service. Like right now, this thing is beeping, bang, 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 because Suvrata did not turn off the cameras. We have cameras, so when it's motion, it comes on beep, 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 beep. But texting, surfing, browsing. This thing is such Maya, I tell you. It is Maya number one. But if one of us was sitting here, right, and someone is doing this, how would you feel? In fact, I think I was listening to a class, I forgot who gave the class, where they said, I wish in every classroom, in schools, the teacher will take a basket and say, put your cell phones on here, now listen to my class. I forgot why I heard that, But I think that's a very good school policy. Every school teacher must take the basket and say, now fine, put your cell phone in, and then now I can continue with my class, because kids will be doing this. Right? But the problem is when we do that, not only is it a respectful behavior, but the children are also watching and learning, oh, daddy did that? I guess it's allowed. I'll also do it. Mommy did that? I guess it's allowed. Okay, I'll do it because mommy and daddy are my seniors. They know more than me, so mommy and daddy doing it, I guess it's okay. But that's not the right behavior. Disrespectful behavior. Texting, serving, and browsing during class is a disrespectful behavior. Because why? Forget the speaker. Forget the speaker. The lordships are right here. I'm pretty sure that if it was our favorite celebrity or basketball player or football player or Bollywood actor or Hollywood actor or whatever you want to call it, we'll make sure that this phone goes on silent. Probably vibrate mode, probably silent, because we want to put our attention on, whether it be, I don't know who these Bollywood stars are nowadays, the only one I know is Amitabh Bachchan. I go that far back. I'm very sorry. I'm very old school. I am so sorry. I don't even know who's the front right now. It was him, like, you put this phone on silent, let me hear this guy speaking. Same thing in the temple. Radha and Krishna are here. Gaurnitai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. Very important that this phone goes on silent mode or vibrate mode. And if we need to text for something urgent, step out, finish, and come back. What I have on my list, and there's many more, chanting during service. Srila Prabhupada says chanting during class is an offense. Either the chanting is bakwas, is just like, or we're not listening to the class. It just went, it didn't go here, it went over the head. It didn't touch the earlobes. It just went, Or the chanting is like, Krishna's gone, Rama's gone. Right? Chanting during temple service is an offense. Because why? Let's think about it. Which name, which word in the Maha Mantra reflects Radharani? Which word? Hare. Hare is Radharani. So if we are chanting the holy name and Hare, we're starting with Hare, right? Then Krishna. And Radha is the mother of devotion, but we are not putting our effort in attentive chanting, nor are we putting effort in the hearing. Then who are we offending the holy name? Radharani. Because it starts with Hare, Krishna. So chanting during class is an offense. I'm not saying it, Srila Prabhupada said that. And whatever we are sharing is what Srila Prabhupada said. So we should always be ready to offer all respects to devotees. This is an extremely serious matter, because it's only by respect can we develop community. And Mathura, I think, mentioned it in a class last Sunday. Respect, the culture of respect, humility, and love. Right, Mathura? Culture of respect, humility, and love. We need these three to build a spiritual community. If we ignore, it goes down. Imagine for like 1 hour, okay, say half the day. If we are home, if the wives ignore the husband, how do you feel? Okay, I get it. You're happy. Get it. I see the smiles. You're like, okay, wife is not bothering me. I get that. I'm scared to add the wives now. They will also agree with us. Okay, let's put the children. I'm not going to do the husband. Why isn't it working out? He got like so happy. If we ignore our children, what will the kids say? I know my kid will say, Mom, am I your friend? Mom, like I know for my first daughter, she comes home from work and I'm busy at my laptop and she'd wave and I don't wait. She goes, Ma, you ignored me. I'm like, oh, hi, I'm sorry, hi. I have to give her this attention. And she's almost 25. Mom, you ignore me. And then purposely, if I ignore, she'll stand in front of me. Hi, Mom. I'm like, okay, I got you, girlfriend. They want attention. Right? So we cannot ignore. If our children need our attention, in that same mood, we should respect devotees. If the more we ignore, it really declines the spirit of community building. So Vaishnava Aparad is caused by arrogance and pride from one of the 6 enemies, which leads to disrespectful behavior. So we must practice in the right way. Only then can we strengthen ourselves from within and outside. See, if we are strong inside, nothing from outside can attack us. Nothing. Prabhupada said, the only way ISKCON can fall down is from within, not from outside. So inside we have to be strong. We have to be the Sudarshan Chakras. We have to be the strong ones within, so that outside nothing can break us. Nothing can influence us. But it takes strength. We have to continuously work on ourselves from within. Because the more we are stronger inside, we can deal with any external influence, any external attacks, even from Maya. See, Maya is Krishna's agent. Maya is not the boss. Krishna is the boss. But Maya is saying, okay, let me just test this guy. Let me just test this lady. Let me see how much she's going to, how strong she is. So that each time we fall down, we pick up and become stronger. We fall down, we get up, become stronger. We fall down, we just keep doing that, and it becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. So when we are practicing the right way, we will grow and benefit, and we become strong. When we are not following, we will suffer disturbance and deviation from our devotion. And that devotion is Radharani. We need her mercy. Very, very important. Every time we chant the holy name, as we say, Hare is Radha. We are asking Radha and Krishna, please engage me in devotional service. So when we are making that prayer, we should always think, my God, I have to give full attention. I have to respect. I have to follow the instructions of the spiritual master. I have to follow the instructions of the seniors. I want the mercy. Radharani is not for material gains, only for bhakti. If we go to her for material gains, forget it. Material gains will not bring us closer to her beloved. Radharani can help us attain Krishna Prema. She can. It's promised as guaranteed by Srila Prabhupada. She can help us attain Krishna Prema, provided we are in the right mindset. Offenses, aparad. Always remember the word Radha in aparada. Radhastami means devoid of Radharani. And when there's no Radharani, there's no mercy, there's no blessings, there's no benediction. So today, we, on this very auspicious, blessed day of Radharani, we all should make a surrendering prayer. And I'm using the term surrendering prayer because it's a very difficult task to surrender, because surrender means you're just giving up. Like when we've seen some movies, right? When two armies attack and one will say, okay, white flag, I surrender. We just be at the mercy. We throw ourselves at the feet of the Lord. So today we all should make a surrendering prayer to Radharani and pray to her and ask her, whatever obstacles is blocking me from growing spiritually, please remove it. Please remove it. Because Radharani is the mother of devotion. If we want to grow spiritually, we have to make the prayer. We have to pluck out those weeds of anarthas and aparads. And Radharani is, like we said, the mother of devotion, so she only operates on spiritual level. If we ask her for a job, she ain't gonna give us. If we ask her for a raise, forget it. I tried that early days. Useless. Don't waste your time. Anything material you ask, it's not going to work. But if you ask her for bhakti, she will do it. Why? Like any mother, like we know, like it happens in my household, and I'm sure it happens in many households, right? The kids are more inclined to come and ask, Mommy, can you please ask Daddy that? Happens in my household. Now I'm trying to reroute it to, okay, you go to your dad because I'm too tired. But when they were young, yeah, Mommy, please ask Daddy that. Because they know, Mommy knows how to tell Daddy the right way. Because if the child tells the daddy, Dad's going to say, why do you want the money? Why do you want a car? Why do you want this? Whereas the mom can say, but this. Oh yeah, okay, I'll give her the money. Okay, I'll give her whatever she wants. Yeah, because the mother knows how to get to the dad. The mother knows. So if we want bhakti, we should ask Radharani. And because she is the mother, she is our mother. She wants us to come closer to her beloved. But the only way is through devotion. And in order to do that, we have to ask her, please remove my anarthas. The 6 enemies of the mind, as Padmanabh mentioned. We have to be aware of our offenses. Respect devotees. When we see them, we greet them. We acknowledge them. We don't ignore them. Very important. You know, sometimes that can also play in our ego. And false ego is a whole different lecture in itself. It takes probably 3 days to talk about the false ego. It's crazy. It's like a mad elephant. It comes running in, it stomps, and then the whole thing is dead. So today, if we all can think of at least one anartha or stumbling block or weakness or anything that we feel it's blocking our growth in spiritual life, pray to Radharani with a sincere heart. It shouldn't be partial. Partial, then you get partial results, I think. Probably no. Radharani wants our heart. She doesn't want 50-50. It's not a business agreement. With a sincere heart, I really want this crap out of my mind. I really want this fault out of my mind. I really need help in this. It can even be time management. I really need help with time management so I can be on time at the temple. Because why? Being on time at the temple brings us closer to the Lord. I've been asked by devotees, how come I am so punctual? Like I can be, because my dad trained me like this. My dad was an engineer. In most households, the women are getting dressed and the father's sitting and waiting. When my dad grew up with 3 women, it's me and my sisters, so he had to sit and wait for us. But he always made sure I was on time. Always. There was never a day that I have gone to church late, ever. Never in my Christian life, 21 years. My dad always made sure that I was on time to church. Because that is the duty of the parent. The duty of the parent is to make sure that we bring our kids on time to the temple. Because if we don't come on time, guess what? The kids will say, oh, Mommy was late, Daddy was late. I can't be late. Excuses. Punctuality is very important. Because why? The Lord is waiting to see us. He's already here by 4:30, 4 o'clock. He's saying, where are my devotees? I'm waiting to see them. So make a humble prayer, very, very sincere prayer, and beg Radharani, literally beg with tears in your eyes, saying, I have this weakness. Shri Radha Hari ki, Jadnabai Subhatarchi, Sri Gonitai ki. Make a sincere prayer. If you have to cry, cry. And beg her, I have this block. I want to come closer. Remove this stumbling block so I can develop more devotion. Remove the stumbling block so I can become close to your beloved. Remove the stumbling block so I can grow in my Krishna consciousness. Very, very surrendering prayer. Because without the mercy of Radharani, we are lost. Just like a child, without their parents, what happens to them? They become orphans. So that's the power of Radharani's mercy. Without the mercy of Radharani, we are lost. And it's only by the mercy of Radharani that we have to beg. And again, when we ask, make sure that when it comes knocking the door, you don't close the door. We have to be very careful to say, okay, I made that prayer, so service is coming to me, so I better take it. Not like, oh yeah, I did ask Radharani for, remove this, but it's coming on time, but I'm not ready, so I'll close the door. No. Radharani will come through his devotees. We are not very elevated for the Lord to come to us. So Radharani will come to the devotees. So we should be prepared that what we ask for in prayer from Radharani, when it comes, we embrace it. Very, very, very powerful. And this whole topic, 100% of it is not my words. 100% of it is actually from my spiritual master. There's a book that he wrote, Reflection 6, and it's called Radhastami, Missing the Mercy of Radharani. So everything that I shared with you today is Xerox copy from my spiritual master's book. And if any of you, this is just, I think it's 8 or 9 chapters. I only touched on 1 chapter of that whole book. That's how powerful that book is. So if anyone are inspired to get that book, would like to really go deeper into the rest of the 6 chapters of Radhastami, please see my husband. He has the books. Very powerful book. Very, very powerful. Missing the Mercy of Radharani, Radhastami. Srila Prabhupada ki. We can take a few minutes with questions, comments, reflections. Yes, Prabhu. The mic is going to come to you and you can ask.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much today. You spoke about the offenses, within our remake, and we have given there are so many kinds of offenses. And I feel like, that offenses are the part of the life, because we live in such a society, we have got so much responsibility and all those things. So these offenses happen with us all the time. So I personally feel the only way to get rid of offenses is that we have to be alert all the time.
Absolutely.
Whenever we are doing something, even if you are making a cup of tea at home, we have to be alert. We have to be there physically and mentally, have to be there. And another thing I would like to add that our devotional and spiritual growth basically starts from our home itself, because we spend most of the time with our wife and our kids and our family. So how do we respect each other at home? How do we talk with each other at home? How much love we do to each other at home? If we start working at home on all these factors, then probably with the addition of the mercy of Radharani, these offenses may go off from our life.
Very good point you made, Prabhu. My spiritual master, even, actually Srila Prabhupada, I'll quote Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada said that we should look at our husband and wife and children as gifts from God. The problem that we make in today's age is we look at our children as properties. It's a very common, unfortunately, sad mentality. I carried this child for 9 months. She is mine. I will never forget this pastime, I shouldn't say pastime, this incident with my father. When my husband came to ask for me hand of marriage, My dad told my husband, she's my property. She's mine. And he was like, whoa. And when he went and told us to my spiritual master, he says, yes, that is a very common Indian father mentality. He got first hand of what it is to be in the Indian family. I felt so bad for the poor man. But yes, but that is the problem. We want, and it goes back to the Bhagavad Gita. I, me, mine. I'm the controller. So the more we start to see our children, our husbands and wives as gifts from God, it will change our mentality. When someone gives us a gift, we're going to put it in a nice place in the house where it can be noticed and is always clean, and we take good care of it. Or when we have a garden, Nitya Gopal, I'm sorry, because you're the only farmer I know right now, Prabhu. You know, you make sure there are weeds, you water it, there's no bugs on it, you take care of it, and then nice fruits come out of it. Right? The same thing with husband, wife, children. We should look, the more we look at them as gifts from the Lord, that they are devotees of the Lord, then we start respecting them. Now, that does not mean that the kids can get away with murder. They need correcting too. Mother Yashoda went with the whip behind Krishna. Round and round and round and round. Krishna allowed Mother Yashoda to chastise him, punish him, beat him, scold him, whatever. But she also loved him. And she cared for him. So it doesn't mean that, okay, I will respect you, I'll worship you, but I'm not going to correct you. No, we have to have a middle ground. Because even though we're in Kali Yuga, we have parental duties. We have duties towards our spouse and our families. So that is also there. But at the same time, we cannot control them. Because our children don't have our karma. Just because we carried them, we gave birth to them, we raised them, does not mean that my karma is, transferable to my children. They have their karma, I have my karma. It's very different. It's the mentality of ownership. So the more we start that with our families, the more we'll start seeing it outside. My father used to always say, clean your house before you clean your neighbor's house. So make sure your house is clean first before you clean your neighbor's house. So you want to make sure that I respect my husband, my wife, my children, they're devotees of the Lord, so on and so forth. And then it becomes a habit, right? And then we go out and share that. Because we have to be, I think in today's world, because of this crazy Maya machine, we are not self-aware of our actions. Completely oblivious. Because the machine has made our minds dull. Literally. I mean, even if we want to do 8 times 7, we go here. Those days of doing 8 times 7 is, let me test you guys. Thank you. Those 2 kids, Haribol. Good job. They didn't use their cell phones. Their dad should not give them cell phones until they are 16 years of age. That's when I gave to my kids, when they were 16, believe it or not. But yeah, this is the mind. The mind is becoming so lazy that we do not use our mind. So when the mind becomes lazy, we are not able to catch our weaknesses. We're not able to catch our offenses. We're not able to catch our anger. We're not able to catch our words. We just go, blah, 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 just spew it out, right? We can't control, self-control. One of the Brahminical principles is self-control. We have to work on that. So less dependence on machine and more dependence on physical association. I'm so glad COVID is, whatever's happening, COVID, I don't care, but I'm glad that we're coming more together because it's going to take physical devotee association for help us to grow. Zoom ain't gonna do it. It's just a machine. But we have to practice self-awareness, catch ourselves, check ourselves, did I say this wrong? Did I say that wrong? Did I do this wrong? And it doesn't have to be with devotees. It also must be with our co-workers. I was taught that how we act outside of the ISKCON community reflects on Srila Prabhupada. How we treat devotees, people outside of the devotee community, reflects on what we were taught by our spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada. They say, oh, this Hare Krishna devotee. This Hare Krishna devotee did this. That's what they'll say. They won't say that this Hare Krishna devotee. The name Hare Krishna has already been demolished. So it's not only within the devotee community. We have to practice that same mode with outside. Very quick example and we'll end. And last week I was sharing in our class, I had an incident in my office last week. One of my clients in Bronx, New York, owes us 8-9 months of payments, and I got the new account, such a bad account, I had to fix the problems, had to contact the client. The client needed, 8 months of weekly invoices plus timesheets. It was such a big mess. And her emails were very rude. And I tolerated it, but the last email, I lost it. Her last email, I very nicely asked her, I said, Cindy, when do you need these invoices? And I'll work on them. She wrote and says, what are you waiting for? What are you sitting on it? Are you wasting my time? All in bold caps. I said, you know what? That's it. I'm done. I lost my anger. I had to calm myself down for 5 minutes. And I said, okay, let me just chill, and I'm going to call her. No more emails. It was very impersonal. So I called her, and thank God she answered. And she said, hey, Anita, that's it. Cindy, may I make a request? May I request that we can be professional via emails? She went, but I said, I get it, Cindy. I'm just requesting for professionalism. I'm doing my best. I had to repeat myself 5 times. And finally she calmed down. And at the end of the call, she apologized 4 times. 4 times, because she was going off. Then half an hour later, she called me again, and she says, Anita. I said, hey, Cindy. She goes, okay, wait, let me breathe. Because she was already angry. Let me breathe. And she goes, and then she was calm. So since then, we've been good. We've been good. So respect doesn't only mean within the devotees, it also means outside. Because how we treat others reflects on ISKCON, reflects on Srila Prabhupada. I hope I answered your question, Alok Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Any other last minute questions before we end for the Maha-Aarti? Yes, my husband, Parikshit Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol. Jai. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
This is not a question, it's just a comment.
Thank you.
Add to what you said about the comment made by Mother Kalini. About sitting down and having the time. You made a comment to me personally about that too. And I had to agree with you. I hadn't thought of it. He said, animals stand and eat.
Yes.
People sit.
Yes, thank you for adding that point. Yes. Animals stand and eat. Humans sit and eat. Thank you. Thank you for bringing us to the human platform. Haribol. Thank you for listening. Let's approach Radharani with a humble prayer of help, of asking her to remove whatever obstacles in our devotional life to help us grow closer in devotion. Srila Prabhupada ki! Jai!
Krishna Prachaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prachaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Vasyachari Shakarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Radhe Radha Sivachari Bhaktavinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivachari Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna Govinda Radhe. Radhe Radhe Govinda 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shri Vrindavana. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shri Vrindavana. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shri Vrindavana. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shri Vrindavana. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Sadguru Srila Prabhupada. Radhastami Mahotsav ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivajikacharya Stotra Sata Shri Radhe's Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada ki Nityalila Pavishta Om Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivajikacharya Stotra Sata Shri Radhe's Divine Grace Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Prabhupada ki Anantaputi Vaishnavas ki Ramacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki ISKCON founder Acharya Shri Prabhupada ki प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री द्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की वृंदावन धाम की मथुरा धाम की नवद्वीप धाम की जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जगन्नाथ स्वामी की गंगा माई की जमुना माई की तुलसी देवी की भक्ति देवी की हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की Samaveta Bhaktavrinda ki Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the lotus feet of Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga Krishna. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. saranam prapadi. Nothing avadim saranam prapadi. Tava kama kama valinaka abhuta singha dalita hiranya kasipu tanubinga keshavadita narahari upa jaya jaganisha jaya jaganisha jaya jaganisha. भगवान की, प्रहलाद महाराज की, गोल प्रेमानंदी।
Shri Shri Radha Bihari ki, Jagannath Subhadra ki, Gaunitai ki. So while we're waiting for the deities to come off the altar for Pushpa Abhishek, Couple of announcements. Today's feast is, and the feast plus the Aarti was in honor of Alok Prabhu's father. Where is he? There you are. Hare Krishna. It's his dad's birthday. So we want to thank him for sponsoring today's feast, and that the Aarti was in honor of your father. So thank you so much that you're able to serve the devotees in that way. Hari Bol. Thank you so much. Couple of announcements while we're waiting for the deities to come off. Tomorrow we have a very important guest speaker, His Grace Nandin Prabhu from India. He's actually many things. He's actually a temple. I had to think in my head, you know. He joined in 78, right? 76, okay. He's been in ISKCON for a very long time, so he's very senior to us, and he is a temple president of Kanpur, India. He's doing a lot of preaching. He's one of the Devotee College Board of Trustees director. He does a lot of preaching. He travels a lot, does a lot of amazing service for Sri Prabhupada. So tomorrow's class will be given by him. He's here for a short time. Shri Radharani Bihari ki. He's here for a very short time, so he's been very kind to come to our temple tomorrow to give the class. So we request devotees, please do come out and attend his class. He'll be here at 4:30. So as we said in the class, is we should be on time so that we show respect to the speaker who's coming all the way, traveling all around the country and from India. So we want to show the respect, and him being very senior, even more respect. So let's all be on time to serve His Grace Nandin Prabhu by being on time for his class. And this month, after the men's mantra retreat, if anybody would like to join the bandwagon for the men's mantra retreat, please see Bhakta George. He's right here. So we have about, I think, almost 10 men that are traveling from here from our temple to New Vrindavan next weekend. So they're going to have a blast. So if anyone else would like to join the bandwagon, please do see Dr. Josh, and he will help coordinate it with you guys of how to make it happen. We have Fili Rath Yatra coming up on September 24th. It's the last Rath Yatra of the season, and they are requesting help for prasadam serve-out. If anyone would like to volunteer to do that service, they have a 1-hour shift, I believe. You think something, Prabhu? So they have a 1-hour shift. So please, if you are interested in participating in the service, please do see me, and we can send the names over to the devotees who are coordinating that. September 10th is Bhadra Purnima, which is the literally incarnation of Krishna. The Srimad Bhagavatam is the literally incarnation of Krishna. So we have to worship Srimad Bhagavatam just as we worship Krishna in the deity form, just as we chant the holy names. It's that pure. So if anybody is interested to either get the Bhagavatam set, if you don't have one, or would like to give a friend who would appreciate a Bhagavatam set, please do see Nitya Gopal Prabhu, Prasad Prabhu, I just saw him, Prasad Prabhu and Swana Gauranga Prabhu, and they will help you to get a Bhagavatam set. And they'll even come to the home of the devotee and install it, have bhajans, speak the glories of the Lord, and conclude with a very sweet prayer. So please do see them. If you would like to get one, if you don't have one, or if you know someone who would want to have one, please do. It's a beautiful book. 10 volumes, Prabhu? 10 volumes, 10 cantos, yeah, of course, yes, 10 volumes. So please do see them. It's a very, very nice book. Very important that each of us actually read the Bhagavatam on a daily basis. We are ready for the Pushpabhishek. Perfect. So we'll continue with the announcements tomorrow. We'll have Pushpabhishek and a wonderful feast by Radharani. Srila Prabhupada ki. Jai. Oh, thank you. For those of you who do not know the bhajan, we just posted it on our temple WhatsApp group, the Sri Radhe Stava. So while we're doing Pushpa Abhishek, Manoharini will be chanting the Sri Radhe Stava bhajan. So if you do not know the verse, please do look on our temple WhatsApp group, and it has the link with the bhajan, and you can sing along in response while we are offering the flowers. Hare Krishna.
Shri Radhastami Mahotsava ki. Okay, first I will read the translation of the Radhika Stava. It will be real quick. O Radha, O beloved of Madhava, O you who are worshipped by all the young girls of Gokula, all glories unto you, all glories unto you. You who dress yourself in such a way as to increase Lord Damodar's love and attachment for you, O Queen of Vrindavan, which is the pleasure grove of Lord Hari. O new moon that has arisen from the ocean of King Vrishabhanu. O friend of Lalita, O you who make Vishaka loyal to you due to your wonderful qualities of friendliness, kindness, and faithfulness to Krishna. O you who are filled with compassion, O you whose divine characteristics are described by the great sages Sanaka and Sanatana. O Radha, please be merciful unto me. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Gokula Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Mahite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Rahite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Rahite. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaura Hari Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Vaishnava Thakur, Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur. Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Vaishnava Thakur, Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur. Gaur Premanande! Hari Bol! Shri Shri Radha Sharad Bihari Mahotsava ki! Shri Shri Lakshmi Vishaka Devi ki! Shri Shri Gaunitaya ki! Janabhari Subhadra ki! Shri 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 Prabhupada ki! Vaishnav Thakur ki! Gaur Premanande! Radharani Prasadam ki! Hari Bol. Mahaprasade Govinde Namo Brahmane Vaishnave Sarvapanyamritam Rajan Vishvasane Vijayate Harira Vidyajat Jadane Atahikar Jive Phule Vishaya Sagare Naramade Jivayati Gopamo Sudharmati Sate Jitaka Tina Samkare Krishna Gunagao Radha Krishna Gunagao Preme Dago Shri Chaitanya Nitai Jai Nitai Srila Prabhupada ki jai Oh Srila Prabhupada ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Mahaprasadam ki, Srimati Radharani ki, Shri Shri Radha Sharad Bihari ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Mahaprasad is served downstairs.
Prasadam is going fast. So you want to work your way down.
Haribo.